So here's something you won't see every day, and it's something you're not going to see on Classics World again anytime soon. Subaru's bi-drive recreational all-terrain transporter. That's BRAT, as it's commonly known. It's also sold as the Brumby and the Shifter and the MV, or the 284 in the UK market, although Subaru UK also sold it as the MV. This one is amazing. It's a real survivor. Most of these have rotted away. Most of them are still in the fields of the original owners who just discarded them when they started to get too rusty to pass an MOT, simply because they loved the pickup so much they couldn't quite bear to part with it. And that probably holds true for Subaru owners today. We're here at Brightwell's auctions. This one's scheduled for the May 13th sale, timed auction. Probably the best one. Well, the best one I've ever seen, and probably the best one in Europe, if not the world. These were a popular car in Britain, but they were even more popular in the States, and they were probably really designed for that market. There was a chicken tax in the US, it's commonly called, an import tariff against imported pickups. So in the States, you bought your BRAT, your Brumby, your Shifter, your MV, your 284, with a couple of plastic seats welded into the load bed. That qualified it as a car. You paid 2.5% tax instead of 25%. But if you think of Subaru as being a sports brand, you know, if your mind is full of Impreza turbos and things like that, this is sort of there, but it's not quite the same. It's based on the older style of Subaru, the Leone four-wheel drive estate car. So you've got, on this model at least, you've got dual range, four-wheel drive, you've got a proper transfer box like a Land Rover. So the Subaru BRAT is actually a part-time four-wheel drive, but unlike a lot of four-wheel drive vehicles, it's front-wheel drive most of the time. So to pull this lever up, you engage drive to the rear wheels, and then obviously another pull engages the low range in the transfer box. So you've got 4 gears here, and obviously a dual range transfer box here, which gives you a total of, well, 8 gears. The interior is brilliantly Japanese, could only be 80s Japanese, and the instrument panel is something else. But, and here's the thing, this is a 94 car, and this all feels like new. And that's what you get with Subaru. You get hard plastics, but you get hard plastics that last forever. But you have only got a little flat 4 engine. It's 1781cc, it's about 90 horsepower. It's not quick, but it's got that characteristic thrum that does sort of hint of the Impreza. It does feel a little bit like an Impreza, this. It's a little bit cramped. I mean, it's like a Golf Caddy. It's that kind of small pickup. It's, you know, it's not a huge vehicle, but it does feel like a car to drive. It's actually got independent suspension all round, so it's not like a really primitive kind of pickup. A bit low geared on the steering. It goes all right, you know, it's quite good fun, a bit bouncy. But what do you expect? It's a pickup truck, isn't it? You can only get about 500 kilos, I think, in the load bed, so it's not, you know, a huge load shifter, but it is really useful, you know. This one did have a little livestock top on it before we took it off, and you can get a couple of pigs in the back, I would imagine. It's quite a funny little thing. I can imagine someone buying this as a modern classic and, you know, putting it to good use, but actually also having a bit of fun with it. Light on the controls, really. And I guess there are an awful lot of people who bought these pickups and were expecting a sort of agricultural kind of heavy-duty pickup, but actually enjoyed finding out that it was more like a car to drive. Well, it does feel like, if you've ever driven a sort of pre-Impreza Subaru, it does feel pretty much like one of those cars to drive. You're not going to win any drag races, but it's fast enough, keep up with modern traffic. Yeah, it sounds right. It's alright. This is great fun, this little pickup. I think I might put in a cheeky bid.